the people in this room are everyday New Brunswickers that have decided to take wellness to the next level. They clearly understand that we're living a wellness crisis in this province when only 7% of our youth are considered active. That's obviously something that we need to do a lot better on, not just a little bit better, a lot better on. And look, if we do what we need to do at this end in terms of prevention and getting people living healthy, active lives, getting them eating better, getting them focusing on mental health, mental resilience, we're going to save a lot of healthcare costs down the road.
One of the biggest things that I find problematic in this is the fact that I think there are a lot of people out there that believe the government has to be the lead on this. I'd like to hear your thoughts on what role government needs to play in all this.
This is not a government problem. This is a New Brunswick problem. And New Brunswick means all of us collectively together as New Brunswickers. We all have to be a part of the solution. And that means that government needs to make some strategic investments, but also people at the grassroots level, at the community level, need to be engaged in this. People need to look. 30 years ago, people probably didn't understand like they do today that smoking causes cancer. So it's an educational process, and we have to, sometimes, as Minister of Wellness, Culture and Sport, I say some things so often that I think everyone's heard the message. And that's just not the case. You got to keep saying it over and over and over again, because I don't want to be sitting with other wellness ministers across this country a few years from now and still have the worst record in the country in terms of active lifestyles.
I'll challenge you though. We have a huge situation where the fattest, we're the least active. We have all kinds of wonderful firsts, and they're not very good ones, but we've heard this all before. I have the tools, you have the tools, everybody here has the tools, but for some reason it seems to be going in one ear and out the other. How do you get it to that next level? We all know what we have to do, and obviously repeating it isn't getting us anywhere. What's the next level for us? Where do we go next?
I don't know that we have repeated it enough, and I don't know whether we've really driven home just how much of a crisis this is. And people don't like using the word crisis, but I think it's time to start using that word when it comes to wellness. Clearly, type 2 diabetes is on the rise. If every New Brunswicker spent 30 minutes more a day in some sort of physical activity, it would decrease your chances of type 2 diabetes of
more than 50%, I think, isn't
almost 60%.
Yeah.
It's pretty significant. And, I don't know that we say we've talked about it. We say that we need our children living a more active life. We say that about our seniors as well. But have we really, really gotten to the point where we've, I hate to use the word fear, but that's almost, we've got to make sure that people realize that this is life and death. This could actually mean that you're going to live an extra 10 years if you do what you need to do.
Okay.
Or let me rephrase that. You may not live as long as you could.
You're shortening your life if you're not
shortening
going to do
your
some
life.
of these things. Yeah. All right. Putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
What do you do with your family?
Actually, we spend a lot of time in the outdoors, particularly in the summer. I do a lot of kayaking, a lot of canoeing. My wife and I try to get out as much as possible for walks on a regular basis. We've done a better job of that this winter, actually. And but you know what? Am I doing enough? No, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. As Minister of Wellness, Culture and Sport, I need to lead by example more than I do.
You're a dad.
Yes.
And I'm a mom, and we have that horrible innate fear of we have to kind of monitor and watch over our children because we're terrified of what could happen to them. I think we have that fear more so than our parents did. So how do we get past that? I was talking to the expert in childhood obesity that says people are really quite fearful of the outdoors, and they don't like letting their children walk to school or walk to some of their activities, that they feel that they have to kind of be constantly monitoring them, and that's preventing them. Inside is much safer kind of thing. So how do we get to that point where we're telling parents it's okay, or at least changing their mentality? Because really and truly not a lot has changed in 30 years. I think we know more now. It's not that there's more pedophiles out there or more dangers. I think now there's so much more awareness of the dangers. So how do we get to that point where it was when you and I were younger that, you know, our parents said, go play, and they weren't hovering, and they, you know, and we didn't have, I guess, that fear of walking to school every day or walking to a function.
Look, I can certainly understand parents' fear. I mean, I'm a parent. I do everything I can to protect my children, too. I think we've got to be better at parents at getting out and doing it with our children.
If you could tell everybody to do something, I asked this to a number of participants, give me a couple of things that you think everybody should be doing to kind of either, whether it's promoting the wellness or getting better in their own lives.
Well, first of all, I talk a lot about physical activity, but eating better is also part of that too. I mean, obviously we've got to get better at making sure that the 4 food groups are incorporated as part of our daily eating habits. But also, look, you got to schedule this in. We're all living busy, active lives. Make sure this gets on your schedule. You know, if you have to put it on your schedule as something in a hidden way, so the rest of your staff or something don't understand that it's you know, part of that you're just going for a walk, then do that. But schedule it in there, because if you don't schedule it in, it won't get done.
It's just as important as everything else.
Yep.
More so, actually. Thank you.
Sorry
to put you on the spot.
Hey, that's not on the spot. That's my job.
Remember that the next time I call.
All right.
Thank you again.
Thank you.